All right guys, so this week's rod review is the 6th Sense Sensory Series. This is a 7.3 heavy, a rod that I've really began to like. This rod comes in at $249, so it is still on that premium side. In my opinion, once you get over $175, you really step things up in the quality that you expect, the durability that you expect, the sensitivity that you expect. Once you get over $175, things really start to change. So this is at a $249 price point, which again is something that if I was, I am proud of. I'm proud to have this rod. If I spend $250 on something, I want to know that it's the best that I can spend for my money. I'm gonna be dead honest. This Sensory Series, I've never been more impressed with a fishing rod in my entire life. I've ordered a bunch more of them, and it is by far my favorite series in the entire 6th Sense lineup. And I'm gonna go over some more of the other ones that I like, and some that I haven't been too fond of quite yet, but specifically the 7.3, and I'm gonna get to the 7.1 next week's video. But as for today, we're talking with a 7.3 heavy. This rod I originally picked up, and my expectation was it's a light rod. It's extremely light to hold. I don't know the exact ounces of it. But my thought was this might be a good chatterbait rod maybe. If it's light, I was expecting a little bit lighter of an action on the rod. And so I was hoping I can get away with it with a chatterbait. That is absolutely not the case. In my opinion, the way I like to fish a chatterbait, this is too heavy of a rod for a chatterbait. And so this is gonna be a really, really good all-purpose casting rod for something that I'm setting the hook on really hard. I think this is going to make a pretty good swim bait rod on a jig head, like a 1/2 ounce jig head. But specifically, this is going to be my all-purpose rod for pitching a jig, pitching a Texas rig, casting a Texas rig, even casting something a long way. I'm confident enough with 7.3 that it's got enough back, it's got enough butt, that when I set the hook a long ways out, I'm gonna be able to drive a hook home still because of the power of this rod. And like I said, it is extremely thin diameter. I felt like I was gonna break it with just holding it. I felt like the sensitivity, there's no way it could be that strong. 1,000,000% that's wrong. My first thing that I did when I bought this rod, or when I got these rods in, I fell in love with this rod, but I called 6th Sense and I said, be completely honest with me. I don't want to promote a rod that's gonna break, because that's my biggest fear. We've all used rods in the past that are known for breaking. And I called them and I asked specifically on these two rods, the 7.3 and the 7.1, how many warranty claims do you guys have on those two rods specifically, because I'm in love with them. And they said, honestly, we have less than 1 a month on the Sensory Series all across the board, which truly says a testament to how durable and strong this rod is, and it's not gonna break. So like I said, I've got a chatterbait on it right now just for the purpose of this video. Extremely lightweight. I'm in love with the weight. I'm in love with the length of the handle. It's got a full foam handle with a little bit, I know y'all can't see this on this camera, but we'll show some chesty of it. But it's got a full foam handle, and it tapers. The handle of it's a little bit, it's not a fat grip. It's still a narrow grip, but it skinnies down to a very narrow, and it gets a little bit wider. It's not fat on either end. It's got a Fuji reel seat, and it holds really, really nice. Again, it has that same, the top part of the reel seat, like I was talking about on one of my last videos. Very high quality reel seat. It's got Fuji guides all the way to the top. They're not gonna break. The guides are durable, they're strong, they're sensitive. That's what you want in a rod like this. Now again, this rod has that same technology, which is the Nano Sense by 6th Sense. It's kind of a rigid rod. It has grooves in it. And in my initial thought on this rod was, it's gotta break, or it's either gotta break your line, because when you set the hook, your rod might touch that blank, and then it's so rigid that it's gonna cut your line. I've caught many fish on this so far, and I have not had that happen yet. So again, testament to the quality, testament to the build, testament to the components. I'm gonna be completely transparent. This rod and the 7.1, which I'm going over next week, are my absolute favorite fishing rods that I've ever owned. Specifically the 7.1, I'm in love with that rod. It's a 7.1 medium heavy, and I've got a Chronarch on it, a Shimano Chronarch. So stay tuned for that video, but I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this one. I'm gonna go fishing, and I'm gonna show you guys and talk a little bit more about what I like this in action, showing you what I'm doing with it, and kind of go over the little bit more details of this rod. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. All right, cereal, what you taking? You a Fruit Loops kind of guy? I like every single cereal that has ever been created. except for it's the worst cereal.
The oats. You know what I'm talking
I ain't f***ing with no oats.
Well, that's a cereal, so there you go.
Let's see here. Yeah, I like every single cereal. I like Cheerios. I like Frosted Flakes.
You know what slaps? You know the cookies?
They
have like a whole cookie. What, you don't like it?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've never given it a fair chance in my adult life.
You like every single cereal.
I just remember not liking that one as a kid.
Ooh, cinnamon toast crunch.
Boy, I eat a whole day. I would eat a whole box of them.
It's like crack.
I would eat a whole box of
You
cinnamon.
know what's great about those is you can eat it with or without cereal. Like it's good both ways.
Yeah, I'm not a big dry cereal type of guy.
Yeah, just for like a little snacks.
Little handful.
Yeah, exactly.
See that cast right there, guys? That's what you need with a very, very accurate rod. Very soft tip. But I know that if I would have got bit back there, I got the power. I got the power. I got the power to drag that sucker back out of there. If my mathematics is right, there should be one right up here.
That slide does not look okay to me.
The slide looks sketch. When I got a 7.3 heavy, I want a rod that is kind of a little bit heavier of a do-all. Kind of like he's got the guts and the glory, but if he needed to go dive off in that mat, he's not scared to. He's not made to, but he's not scared to. I did think I just saw one moving that mat. I'm gonna pick up my big flip stick. Ryan's gonna love editing all this stuff together. Oh, it's a gar. Okay, so like I was saying, I want a rod 7.3 heavy that I'm confident I can go swim a jig as I'm going past this grass. But if one blows up in the grass, I can also just fog my jig over in there, let it fall in a hole, and be confident. So I can go straight from that grass and then just slide my bait right up under that boat dock. And now I'm back in it, ready to catch him. 7.3 heavy, you got to be bold to be a 7.3 heavy. Like when you come into this earth and you're born a 7.3 heavy, you got to be ready for a lot of battle, because you're going to get put under some situations that you was not made to do. You know what I mean? So if you're going to be a 7.3 heavy and a good one at that, you got to really, really be confident in yourself. Now, my owner, if I'm a 7.3 heavy, he might be skipping docks, not having a single bite in the world. Might even put a reel with braid on it midday and then go, you know, use it for a lightweight punching rod.